You can give her your time. You can give her your money. You can even give her your heart. And still, she may never truly love you. Not in the deep way that makes a woman choose you when things get difficult. Not in the way that makes her stay when temptation appears. Not in the way that makes her feel emotionally safe with you. Because love is not created by what you give her. It is created by who you are when nothing is going your way. Most men believe attraction is built through effort. They think more messages, more attention, more sacrifice will slowly convince her to love them. So they keep giving, keep chasing, keep trying to prove their worth. But women do not fall in love with effort. They fall in love with presence. They are drawn to a man who is calm, centered, and grounded in himself. A man who does not panic when she pulls away. A man who does not beg when he feels uncertain. A man who does not lose his identity just to keep her. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And women feel that truth instinctively. A man who controls his emotions, who stands firm in who he is, becomes a place of emotional safety. And safety is what allows love to grow. Without inner strength, no amount of effort will ever be enough. Most men are taught a dangerous lie. They are told that if they give enough, do enough, and sacrifice enough, a woman will eventually love them. So they become more available. They send longer messages. They offer more help. They lower their standards just to keep her close. But effort does not create love. It creates obligation. A woman may appreciate what you do for her, but appreciation is not desire. Gratitude is not attraction. And comfort is not love. When you give too much, too fast, you send a silent message. I need you to feel whole. And neediness, no matter how well hidden, always weakens attraction. Not because women are cruel, but because emotional dependence feels unsafe. A man who seems like he would collapse if she left puts pressure on her instead of confidence in her. Women do not want to be your emotional anchor. They want to rest on yours. This is why some men can say less, do less, and still be deeply desired. They are not trying to earn love. They are already standing firmly in who they are. Their energy says, I am complete. You are welcome here, but I do not need you to survive. And that creates curiosity. That creates respect. That creates attraction. A man who chases love loses it. A man who stands in his self-worth allows love to come to him. This is not arrogance. This is self-mastery. And self-mastery is the foundation of everything that makes a woman feel drawn to you on a deep emotional level. Stoicism is often misunderstood. People think it means being cold, distant, or emotionless. But true Stoicism is not about shutting down your feelings. It is about not being controlled by them. A Stoic man still feels desire, fear, excitement, and attachment. The difference is that he does not let those emotions dictate his behavior. He observes them, understands them, and chooses his actions consciously. This is where real masculine power comes from. Most men react. They get triggered. They chase reassurance. They argue to protect their ego. A Stoic man responds. He stays calm when things become uncertain. He stays grounded when someone challenges him. He stays centered when a woman tests him emotionally. And women test not to manipulate, but to feel safe. They want to know if you are steady when emotions rise. They want to know if you fall apart when pressure appears. They want to know if you are strong enough to remain yourself when attraction is on the line. A man who loses control of himself loses his attractiveness. But a man who remains calm and confident, even when the situation is uncomfortable, creates a feeling of security that goes far deeper than words. That calm presence tells her, this man can handle life. And if he can handle life, he can handle me. And that is when attraction stops being shallow and starts becoming something real. Stoicism is not weakness. It is emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is one of the most powerful traits a man can possess. Do you like this personality? Most men lose attraction the moment they are emotionally tested. She replies slower than usual and they start to overthink. She sounds distant and they suddenly become anxious. She seems upset and they either become defensive or desperate to fix everything. To a woman, this sends one clear message. This man cannot control himself, and a man who cannot control his emotions cannot be trusted with hers. Emotional control does not mean you do not care. It means you do not collapse when something feels uncertain. The Stoic man stays steady. When she pulls back, he does not chase. When she is quiet, he does not panic. When she is emotional, he does not react with anger or insecurity. He listens, he observes, he stays calm. That calmness is powerful because it shows inner strength. A man who can sit in silence without feeling the need to fill it, a man who can handle distance without feeling abandoned, a man who can face tension without trying to escape it, feels solid. And women are drawn to men who feel solid. Why? Because emotional chaos feels unsafe. Emotional stability feels like home. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she opens up. She becomes softer. She becomes more affectionate. Not because you tried harder, but because you stayed centered. This is the difference between a man who is tolerated and a man who is truly desired. The Stoic man does not try to control her. He controls himself. And when you control yourself, you become someone she can relax around. That is the first pillar of real attraction, emotional mastery. A man without purpose slowly loses his power. When your entire world revolves around a woman, she becomes your emotional center. You start to shape your decisions around her moods, her attention, her approval. And without realizing it, you hand her the responsibility for your happiness. That is not attractive. That is heavy. Women are naturally drawn to men who are moving towards something meaningful, a mission, a vision, a goal that exists whether she is there or not. Purpose creates direction. Direction creates confidence. And confidence creates attraction. When you wake up every day knowing what you are building, you stop chasing validation. You stop needing constant reassurance. Your energy changes. You become grounded. And a grounded man feels powerful. This is why a woman can fall deeply for a man who is busy, focused, and driven, even if he gives her less time than another man who is always available. It is not about neglect. It is about priority. A man with purpose is not distracted by fear of loss. He knows his life has meaning beyond one relationship, and when she sees that, she feels pulled into your world instead of feeling like you are clinging to hers. Purpose creates emotional gravity. It makes you someone she wants to be close to, not someone who is chasing closeness. This does not mean you do not care. It means you do not abandon your path. And the man who walks his path with discipline and direction becomes naturally attractive without trying. That is Stoic power in motion. Love cannot exist without respect, and respect is impossible without boundaries. Most men think being nice means saying yes to everything. They agree when they want to disagree. They tolerate behavior that makes them uncomfortable. They stay quiet to avoid conflict. But what they are really doing is teaching her that their needs do not matter. A man who has no boundaries becomes easy to ignore. A Stoic man, however, is calm and clear about his standards. He does not raise his voice. He does not threaten. He does not beg. He simply does not accept what goes against his values. When you calmly say no, when you walk away from disrespect, when you hold your ground without anger, you communicate something powerful. I respect myself. And when a woman sees that you respect yourself, she naturally respects you too. This is not about control. This is about dignity. Boundaries create emotional safety because they make you predictable in a healthy way. She knows what you will and will not accept. She knows where you stand. And that clarity allows trust to grow. A man who tolerates everything is not loving. He is afraid of losing. But a man who calmly enforces his standards is strong. And strength creates attraction. Respect is the soil. Boundaries are the roots, and love grows only where both exist. There is a strange truth about attraction. The more you need her, the less she feels drawn to you. The less you need her, the more she starts to value you. This is not a game. It is human psychology. When a woman senses that your happiness depends on her, she feels pressure, she feels responsible for your emotional state, and that pressure slowly kills desire. But when she feels that you are emotionally complete on your own, something different happens. She relaxes. She knows that being with you is a choice, not an obligation. She knows you are with her because you want to be, not because you are afraid to be alone. That creates real attraction. Stoicism teaches that your peace comes from within, not from another person, not from approval, not from attention. When you live this way, you naturally become more attractive because you are no longer chasing to be filled. You are already whole, and a man who is whole feels powerful, calm, and confident. That is the paradox. When you stop needing her, she feels free to love you. Detachment does not mean you do not care, it means you do not cling, and the man who does not cling becomes unforgettable. At the end of the day, everything comes back to one thing. She does not love the man who tries the hardest. She loves the man who is strongest on the inside. Inner strength is what allows you to stay calm when emotions rise. It is what allows you to walk away when you are not respected. It is what allows you to stand alone without feeling empty. A man with inner strength does not beg. He does not chase. He does not lose himself just to keep someone in his life. He is steady. And that steadiness makes a woman feel safe, not bored, not controlled, safe, safe to be emotional, safe to open up, safe to love, because she knows that no matter what happens, you will not fall apart. This is what women truly respond to, even if they never say it out loud. Not muscles, not money, not clever words, but a man who is emotionally grounded, purpose-driven, and unshakable. That is Stoic strength. That is what makes you different. And that is what turns attraction into deep, lasting love.